Clinical research is one of the most dynamic and rewarding fields in healthcare, but getting your first break or advancing your career can sometimes feel challenging. That's exactly why this course was created, to guide you through every stage of your professional journey. We'll begin this course by understanding the difference between a career and a job, so that you can think long term and make smart and strategic decisions. Then we'll break down a typical job description and discuss the required qualification and skill set and identify what employers are truly looking for. Next, we'll work on your interview strategy and we'll understand how to handle the core competency as well as situational questions with confidence. You'll also learn how to stay updated with current industry trends and understand exactly what recruiters expect from you and from clinical research professionals. We'll go beyond interview and understand salary analysis, negotiation techniques, notice periods, joining formalities, and documents required, which is everything you need to smoothly transition into a new role. You'll also get a step by step guidance on clinical research CV preparation, how to apply for clinical research jobs effectively, and how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract recruiters. By the end of this course, you'll have a complete roadmap, a clear understanding of clinical research job market, interview mastery, and all the tools required to position yourself for a long term success. So, if you are ready to transform your potential into a successful career, let's get started with Clinical Research Interview Guide and enroll now. So, hello and welcome to the course. So, in this particular course, that is Clinical Research Career Guide, we are not only going to focus on the interviews or the job aspect of it, we are going to shape your career out of it. After completing this course, you will not only understand how to navigate your way through clinical research, but you will have a very wide and holistic understanding of your career. That how do you start your career, where do you want to go, and how to achieve that trajectory. Okay, so in this particular session, we will understand what this particular course is about, what are its components, and what you are going to learn out of this course. So let us start. So first and foremost, before directly starting with the interviews or the clinical research career, we will understand the basics. Okay, it is very important that you start from your basics, you get your basics cleared, and then you can move forward. Okay, so first and foremost, we will start with understanding what is career versus job mindset. Okay, it is very important that whenever you start a particular job, you do not think as a one single job or one single opportunity, but you have to think about the long term career. Okay, so stop thinking about just one job but start building a career. Okay, so we have to understand what is the difference between a career and a job, and how in the long term which particular aspect is going to help us, as well as how we are going to grow our career with a purpose. Because at the end of the day, it is very important for you to secure your employment, but if you want to grow in that particular career, in that particular field, it is very important for you to have that mindset or understanding. Once we have that particular basic understanding, we will move to understanding the clinical research industry scope. Okay, now we are going to step into an industry which is tremendously large and it has huge opportunities, but it is very important for you to understand that industry first. Okay, because without understanding, if you just apply for job or just fill your application, you're not going to understand the complete gist of it. Okay, once you understand the entire industry dynamics, then you're in a better position to grab the global opportunity, to grab the key opportunities in your career. Okay, so then we will learn the clinical research industry scope, followed by the qualification. Okay, so now that you have decided that you will pursue a career in clinical research, you need to know what exactly are the qualifications required. Okay, because for each and every job in clinical research there are thousands and thousands of application, but only few are shortlisted because their qualification match the job description. Okay, so here we will also understand what is the eligibility for various clinical research, clinical data management, and pharmacovigilance job role, and what it takes to make your profile stand out so that the recruiters immediately shortlist your profile and they invite you for the interview. Okay, our target is to get an opportunity to present our skill. Okay, so that is why we need to understand the qualifications better and build your profile accordingly. Okay, last but not the least, we have to have a career roadmap. Okay, so in this particular certification, we will step by step understand that how do you build your profile, how do you land your first successful job, or even if you are an experienced professional and if you want to change your job, then this particular certification is going to help you, that how and at what time are you going to change the job, what are the trajectories, what is the option, and what are the trigger points which entice you to change a job or get a new job. Okay, so that is the holistic approach to the basics of career. Okay, now whenever we have to start a new career or whenever have to shift to a new opportunity, we have a lot of questions, we have a lot of how to's. Okay, how to do this, how to do that. Okay, so in this particular course we are going to answer those specific questions in detail. So we will start by understanding that how to begin the job search. Okay, because the beginning, the first step is very very difficult. Okay, and if you have that first step right, if you have a solid foundation, you are going to be successful in your career. Okay, so it is very important to understand how do we begin the job search. We have to have end to end understanding of the job search as well as a detailed blueprint so that you can follow the same and get to your dream job. Okay, next we will understand how to decode the job description. Okay, a lot of people just mindlessly apply to the job, they do not read the job description, but job description is essentially your cheat codes to understand what the job is all about, what is their requirement. Okay, that is why it is very important that we, in this particular course, we will decode what exactly is job description for a CRA, for a CRC, for CDM, for pharmacovigilance, and we will understand what each and every component of job description is and how various aspects impact your chances of getting hired. Next, we will focus on the skill requirement. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you see, the current job market is not degree based, it is not based on any kind of certification, it is based on the skill you acquire from the degree or the certification. Okay, so it is very important for you to understand that which particular role requires which particular certification and what particular skill set. So that is skill set requirement. And last but not the least, getting certified. Okay, because at the if you see, during your graduation you were exposed to the core job roles. Okay, you were exposed to the core opportunities, but clinical research is a dynamic field. Okay, in clinical research you have people from various backgrounds and they unite at a single point by having those skill set, those understanding of clinical trial. That is why it is very important for you to get the correct certification for the correct job, so that not only you have your basics stronger, but you are very much adaptable to that particular job. I have seen people from pharmacy background, from medicine background, they do not have the deeper understanding of clinical research. They might have one chapter or some paragraphs about clinical trial, but they do not understand the difference between phase 1 clinical trial to phase 4 clinical trial, how the data is generated in a clinical trial, how the data flows, what is the regulatory submission timelines. These particular skills are required whenever you want to do your career in clinical research. Okay, so getting the right certification is very very critical, so that your CV, your profile is better and it is well tailored and optimized for that particular job role. Such people are more likely to get their dream job. Okay, so we will begin our job search targeting that particular aspect. Now, next aspect is the interview preparation strategy. Okay, now the interview might appear very simple or very difficult to some people, but that interview is one of the most critical opportunity to show your skill set. That 30 minutes will define how your career is going to be and whether you're going to have a career or not. That is why we are going to focus on each and every aspect of the interview. Okay, we will focus on the basic core interview questions, the situational question, what are the industry questions, what are the aspect, how the communication should be, how should be our behavior during the interview. And more importantly, I am not only going to tell you what are the interview question, but I am going to provide you how to answer that particular interview. Because at the end of the day, there are thousands and thousands of people that you will find who will tell you what are the interview questions, but no one will tell you how to answer that particular interview question. Okay, and that becomes one of the most critical aspect of any interview. Okay, not only knowing the question but knowing the answer so that you impress the recruiters or the interviewers. Okay, so in this particular certification I will not only tell you about which are the core clinical research interview question, what are the situational question they might ask you, but I will also tell you the clinical research industry updates that they will ask you during their interview, and how to have that soft skill, that negotiation skill, which are very critical for the interview. Okay, I will also provide you the editable CV for a clinical research job role. Also, I will provide you the interview question and answer PDF so that you have it handy to refer, and you can by heart those particular answer and provide you most tailored and perfect answer so that the recruiters are impressed and they definitely give you an offer. Okay, so that would be our interview preparation strategy. Now, whenever you begin a job search, it is very important that not only you reached out to that particular job, but the recruiters, the company should also be able to see you. Okay, and that is why your candidate visibility is very important. Okay, you should be visible in the eyes of the recruiters also. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to design an industry ready CV that gets noticed. Okay, I have in this particular course shared a CV which is highly optimized, made ATS ready, so that whenever that CV you send it to anyone, you have higher opportunity or higher chances of getting shortlisted. Okay, so that also we are going to prepare. The next aspect is going to be the template. Okay, so not only I'm going to show you the components of a CV, but I will also provide you editable template. That particular editable template, you just have to fill in your details and you are good to go. Okay, so you are after completing the certification, you will be ready with the interview preparation strategy, and also your CV will be the industry ready CV. Okay, so that is again an amazing thing to have. Last but not the least, we have the customization of the CV. Okay, I will not only tell you how to complete that particular CV, but which are the essential components of the CV, how to design your CV, and how to optimize your profile. Okay, I'm going to also tell you which are the AI tools that you can use to optimize not only your CV, your profile, but also your LinkedIn and social media. Okay, because in the current job market, it is not only important to have a good CV, we have to have your LinkedIn profile, your candidate profile up to date. Okay, because the more visibility you have, the more chances are you of getting hired. Okay, again, we are focusing on the profile optimization, and which will have a major impact on your networking also, because once your profile is up to date, there are higher opportunity that people from the industry start accepting you. Okay, so we will build a strong networking strategy, as well as we will optimize your profile so that your LinkedIn presence is also boosted, and that results in the attraction of the recruiters. Okay, so we will plan your visibility accordingly. Okay, so this is going to be an amazing journey where we will not only prepare yourself, but we will also market your profile to the recruiters so that it maximizes your chance of getting hired into your dream company. Now, once we have your visibility, once you have cleared the interview, what comes next is the job offer. Okay, but a lot of people do not know how to answer to that particular job offer. Whatever the recruiter send, they directly accept. Okay, so in this particular certification, we will not only focus on the job offer, but we will develop a clear understanding of the salary and the industry standard. Okay, once you get the job offer, you need to understand what is the industry salary. Okay, a lot of time these recruiters offer at least 30% less salary than their budget. Okay, so it is very important for you to be smart and understand for which particular position what is the salary. In this particular certification, I have had a dedicated session where I have focused on salary analysis of each and every position, and for each step of your career, right from the 2 year mark, 5 year mark, 10 year mark, and 10 plus years mark. At which stage of the career, at what stage of the experience, your salary should be what, so that no one reduces your price, no one undermines you. Okay, and not only getting the salary, but I will also teach you negotiation skills. Okay, how do you negotiate the salary offer? A lot of people, almost 90% of the time, accept the initial offer itself, but you do not know that the recruiters offer you lower salary initially because they know that you are going to negotiate, and a lot of people do not do that. That is their fault, and they accept lower offer. but remember that the lower salary is going to impact your ability to perform better, your ability to have a good life. Okay, so I will also teach you how to negotiate a better salary and then how to accept the offer. Okay, we will also focus on the documentation part of it. A lot of students do not know what kind of documentation these global MNCs, the CROs, the pharma companies require. So I will also provide you a list of documents required so that you keep those prepared, because the recruiters are always impressed by the candidate who have their documentation ready, just ready to be sent. Okay, so it is very good idea to have a dedicated specific folder which clearly has all your documentation as per the industry requirement, and so that you can perform as per the expectation of the recruiters. The earlier you submit your documentation, your acceptance, the earlier it is your chance of getting confirmed. Okay, so we are going to have a very good strategy. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are going to focus on the documentation part as well. And last but not the least, the joining. Okay, so it is not only about getting the offer and confirming the joining date, but we have to know that whenever it comes to joining, how do we have to negotiate your notice period? What are the challenges during notice period? How can we negotiate lower notice period, and how can we confirm to the previous employer, to the next employer? Okay, so we will focus on the strategies for both freshers and experienced people. Okay, and we will understand what are the joining formalities that we need to do, what are the key concepts and key tips and tricks that you need to know before joining any particular organization. Okay, so if you focus on this particular certification, it is a very holistic approach to your career. And finally, at the end of this certification, we will also summarize all the skills acquired during this particular course. What are the learning objective we have completed? Are we interview ready in a strategic way? Again, the application of this particular certification in your job hunt, we will focus on that, as well as we will focus on which particular job search and which particular career that you can search after this particular certification, and what are the key takeaways at the end of this particular course. Okay, so it is going to be one hell of a course and an amazing opportunity for you. So make sure you watch the entire session, the entire certification, take your notes. Okay, have all the PDFs downloaded, make sure you edit your CV as instructed, and you are good to go to dominate the job market. Okay, this is the difference between a normal job search person and a person who is ready strategically. Okay, so I will see you in the next session. Let's make you successful.